sell one of my businesses to pay the bill. So I'm sorry. So enough of that.
So credit card bill is going to be a lot cheaper now.
I've got 3 credit cards and I maxed out them all. There you go. So I suppose I'm being me really. I'm trying to cover real emotion by making it fun. But then we've got to make it fun over the next couple of days because that's what it's all about. It's all about fun.
When you look back to Oxford United, obviously being on the pitch, I asked the same question to Matt, I asked the same question to you. Does it feel like a marathon at the time and you look back and it's been a sprint?
It's gone ever so quickly, really quickly. You know, all you can do, really, any of us can do, is hope that you've come and done a job and left the business, the club, in a better shape than you found it in. And I think that everybody involved with the football club, because it has been a huge team effort, there was no question about that. Mark's related to it a number of times. He's wrong, it was mainly about me. But at the end of the day, all you can do is say, if I've done my best, and if it's better than it was when we started, then that's the best you can do. And hopefully people think of that.
So it's not like the reception you got last night, I think everyone would agree it's in a much better place than
I was a bit fed up with that. I didn't get a standing ovation, so I've got to be honest, I was really disappointed. I know there's a lot of Disney fans in here, that's all I can say. Yeah. Listen, I'd rather shake hands. I mean, I'll tell you what did happen to me last night, and did shed a few tears. It was somebody tread on my foot. No, basically it was the fact that so many fans sought me out, because I tried to hide after the speech, and came across and said, thanks for what you've done. And I'd rather shake hands with one genuine Pompey fan than 100 Kings. And that's what I would say.
I think you might be shaking a few hands here tonight when you go out.
No, they just did. I'll buy them around. I guess you got a question or two. Although Mark took up most of my time, didn't he?
That's all right, we can go over, don't worry about that. Was this like an end to the chapter for you? Really, you were looking at it as the season was going on and thought, this is the right...
Don't want to look back too far, but those that know actually what went on, because this thing started, indeed, with Mark and I, way before it actually started. And there were some really unpleasant characters involved in the football club. Some of them are still here. And the reality of life is that I paid a very heavy price with my relationship, having been committed to what we were doing. And this fella over here and we met on a dating site, didn't we? We keep saying that. But Mark rang me up. Yeah, what was it called in those days? Oh, I thought it was Bender. But anyway, we did. We met on a dating site, and we went through hell, didn't we? Well, to be fair, and I went through money. But the truth of the matter is, there comes a point in time when you've just had, it's time for somebody else. And it's now time for somebody else. And particularly with the emergence of the potential change in ownership, I just think it made it a whole lot less complicated if I stood down and stayed out of it, which is pretty much what I've done.
When you look back on it, is there any things that you would do differently at all? Any advice you would give to Mr. Eisen if you were to take over?
New CEO, FD. Yeah, I think the trouble is, with all honesty, and it was one of the worst times of our life, and Mark shared that with me too, I probably think we were... I think we've done a good job. I don't think we've done a great job, because I think we're where we are a year too late. And I would have not been carried away, as I think we were emotionally, by one or two managerial appointments, and that's no discredit to them at all. And in fact, I think that all too rarely in football, the people that actually make the decisions never pay the price. The people that get told that we've made the decision in their favour always pay the price, and that can't be right. Doesn't happen in business. So, yeah, if I had a regret, and if I'd do something differently again, I'd let my head rule my heart rather than the other way around.
it must be such a difficult thing to do in those moments you have to make those decisions.
Well, it is when you've got my sort of head.
So, I guess when looking forward to tomorrow, of course, and you've been able to enjoy the promotion, has the promotion even sunk in?
No.
At all for you?
No, not really. I mean, Mark mentioned the lowest point, which was Plymouth, where despite the number of bottles of champagne I bought, I couldn't get anybody in the boardroom to do anything other than cry. I certainly couldn't get them to pay for a bottle, that's for sure. And I remember it was bizarre. I went downstairs, I think that some of you guys were there, and after having a selfie with Ruben Reid, which apparently is not allowed, I was told afterwards, I couldn't help it. There was a guy sitting on the wall opposite us, and he looked just like Max Wall. There's only probably me and Ray remembering. So I threw my jacket back, and I did a Max Wall. And they all thought, he's lost it. And it was the only way that I could get myself to be brave enough to say anything, because these guys were genuinely emotive. And shake hands with the Plymouth manager, let me tell you, that's fun. Go round their dressing room and look at all these people saying, you know, celebrating when our guys were literally, and that's the saddest point, floods of tears. You know, these players, they care. People talk about them not caring, they care madly. They care passionately. No more so than, of course, the manager. So, that sticks out. Promotion hasn't really sunk in yet, because I don't think any of us expected to do this easily. Yeah, we would normally be sitting here tomorrow. I think we've got to win 5-0 and wait for the other results to come in before we go anywhere. And tomorrow it's going to be bizarre. We turn up, we can actually enjoy ourselves, can't we?
Is that one of the things you're most proud of what you've done here? Is you've got players and managers who all buy into this Pompey community. You go down to any event at Fratton Park, there'll be a player there. So the Pompey disabled supporters thing they had down there, every single player was there. You go to QA, there will be a player going down there. What they do is they buy into the community. How proud are you of that? That is the legacy that, let's say, you would install.
Well, I'm not sure I installed that on my own. I think that coming from the community, that probably said enough. You know, Mark's been excellent, Tony's been excellent, all the guys have been excellent at going to the various dues. I've enjoyed going because actually most of them, I went on the supporters coach a couple of times. Actually once I had to fix the bloody gearbox. And I found when I got on there, most of the people on there knew me. So of course they all got off. But the reality of life is that, you know, everybody, it is, you know, it's such a blasé thing to say, team effort, look at it. It's a team effort, you know, and if it's a team effort, it means if you lose a player, in this instance me, for no transfer fee at all. I mean, they're paying people to take me away, let me tell you. They'll be here any minute. But the reality in life is that if you leave a team and you work with a team and you believe in the team, then the thing just carries on naturally. And that's what we've got.
Are you looking forward to a summer off? I guess
No. Because I hate holidays, Jane will tell you. Just as well, because the number she goes on, 2 of us couldn't afford to go. I mean, if ever we need a replacement for Jude the Chalmers, I mean, she goes on so many holidays, she leaves a suitcase at the airport, picks them up on the way out. Sorry, Jane, sorry. She's coming, sorry. So, I'm obviously practicing to be a stand-up comedian. And of course, all you guys know I'm good at standing up, right? So the rest is easy. But no, listen, I'll be honest with you, it's been a really strange few weeks. It hasn't set in. You know, when I finally not getting the emails from the other directors saying, you know, why don't you go? And people like Mark and Tony saying, we agree with them. Then I'm going to miss those. And I'm going to miss all of you guys, but I'll be a fan, a supporter, or a programme seller, or a steward. I don't know. What are you got in store for me, Jim?
Director of football.
Yeah. One of the things I'm going to miss, certainly, is when I'm sat in the stands and look over to the director's box, and it's unlike any director's box you ever see. There's passion in it for a start, and I love seeing that, just looking at the chairman getting up the Fratton and getting up the Fratton Park Club.
I'm not entirely sure that everybody would agree with that sentiment. But I'm told next year they're going to do it on a rota basis, is that right?
Tony's on first.
But if Mick Williams stands up, you'll have to forgive him because you won't see him. Sorry, Mick, I don't really mean it.
So what is it for you? Is it once you've had a taste of the Fratton Park hospitality, you can't go back, or are you going to be a regular punter?
No, I think they dragged me screaming out of what used to be called the Sports Bar, it's now the Alliance. I got a feeling that's probably where I'll go back to, if indeed I can get tickets. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm one of you guys. I don't think I've ever changed. I don't think that's the one thing anybody can accuse me of.
If you had to push you for a moment at all that sticks out, could you pick one from?
Yeah. End of Notts County game. 10. Right. End of Notts County game.
We'll keep going. Don't worry.
Right. End of Notts County game. Cookie said to me, "I'm going to come straight up," because we were thinking about whether we should. We weren't sure what to do, were we, Mark? Truthfully. So Cookie said to me, "I'm going to come straight up to you. I'm going to point to you, and we're going to go sit in the Directors' Lounge at Notts County, who, by the way, were fabulous. I'll put us up all the day. I think you would agree. Yeah. And we'll sit in the corner, we'll have a beer, and we'll cry, right?" And that's exactly what he did. That sticks out for me massively.
And I think it's one of those moments where the people who were running the club before, they don't understand it, because everyone was like, when you saw promotion, I mean, even pulling out here, Dan was saying he was live on TalkSport, saw it, the flash come through that Pompey had been promoted, and he choked up a bit and went,
yeah. Dan Wood, he's probably on a Jägermeister bomber or two, probably. We've finished, have we?
No, we want to keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
I'm out of jokes now.
Yeah, we're off the air.
You can swear now.
Are there any questions at all that anyone, or sentiments that you'd like to share with Iain at all from the floor?
No, I prefer not sentiments.
I'd like to ask Mark Catley how well...
He's had his thing. Hey, you just shut up.
So you've worked with a few chairmen.
Yeah.
I just want to know how you compare...
No, don't answer that. Whatever you do, answer that.
How you compare to other chairmen around the country?
How can he do that when he's sitting on Michael Eisner's knee? I mean, let's be fair. Let's be fair.
I thought everyone was boxed tomorrow, you be honest.
Go on, Mark, be honest.
I've only ever worked with one other chairman, and that was at Bury, because I was the chairman at the Spanish club. But listen, I had a great relationship with Brian, so I'm not going to knock him, but it's been completely different here at Portsmouth. Just it's not being funny, the size of the club, and you know, Ian's a unique character. Yeah. He really is, yeah.
Okay,
Are there any other questions at all that anyone would look to?
Before we do a vote on the chair, before you go on now. Sorry, mate.
No, I've deliberately and rightly, in my opinion, not voiced an opinion. We made a decision. I'm not going to avoid your question because 100 odd people. That'll be a first. 100 odd people last night came up and said, "We haven't heard from you. We haven't seen you. Thanks very much." And we don't know which way that you vote. I'll tell you which way I vote. Again, it's corny. I'll vote whichever way's right for the football club. Yeah. And I've seen nothing to suggest that the bid that we've got isn't genuine, isn't professional. In fact, even I would say polished. You expect that. And as far as the trust is concerned, of course, they're being protective because that's what they should be. It's personal. And there's a certain amount of concern. So I think that they're very difficult circles to square, to be truthful. So I'd rather not play a part in that, if I'm honest. And there's nobody here knows which way I would vote. In fact, I'm not sure it's all that relevant, truthfully. But the reality of life is, whichever way it goes, providing you've got the people in place that are in place to look after the club, then I'm quite confident things carry on.
Gentleman there with a hand up.
Whichever way you vote,
Yeah.
you vote with your heart. Whichever way you vote, whether you vote for him, whether you vote for whatever, no, honestly, whatever way you vote, as long as you vote with your heart, you've got my backing, personally.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's that's a nice thing. Thank you very much.
Is that one of the most memorable things? I think you touched on it, but the Pompey fans that come up and say like that, vote with your heart, whatever way you vote, vote. Just, you've touched so many people over.
Mima, 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 Mima. And that's good night from Radio U-Tree. The only thing I'd say, Michael Eisner's nowhere near as funny as me.
Yes.
Any other questions at all, or we'll wrap this one up? No, that's it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could put your hands together for Mr. Iain McInnes.
My privilege and my pleasure. Cheers.
Thank you all so much for turning up. I hope you had a good evening. Cheers.
Tony, come on. Tony's just like an invoice.